Preventing suicide requires strategies at all levels of society by learning the warning signs. Suicide warning signs or suicidal thoughts include talking about suicide, for example, making statements such as, "I'm going to kill myself," "I wish I were dead," or "I wish I haven't been born." Getting the means to take your own life, such as buying a gun or even stocking up on pills. Withdrawing from social contact and wanting to be left alone, having mood swings such as being emotionally high one day and deeply discouraged the next. Feeling trapped or hopeless about a situation, increasing use of alcohol or drugs, changing normal routines, including how you eat or your sleeping patterns. Doing risky or self-destructive things, such as using drugs or driving recklessly. Giving away belongings or getting affairs in order when there's no other logic explanation of doing this. Saying goodbye to people as if you're never going to see them again. Developing personality changes or being severely anxious, particularly when experiencing some of the warning signs listed above. Warning signs aren't always obvious, and they may vary from person to person. Some people make their intentions clear, while others keep their suicidal thoughts and feelings a secret. Suicidal thoughts have many causes. Most often, suicidal thoughts are the results of feeling like you can't cope when you're faced with what seems to be an overwhelming life situation. If you don't have hope for the future, you may mistakenly think suicide is a solution. You may experience a sort of tunnel vision when in the middle of a crisis, you believe that suicide is your only way out. There also may be a genetic link to suicide. People who complete suicide or have suicidal thoughts or behavior are more likely to have a family history of suicide. Although attempted suicide is more frequent for women, men are more likely than women to complete suicide because they typically use more lethal methods, such as a firearm. You may be at risk of suicide if you attempted suicide before, feel hopeless, worthless, isolated, or lonely, experiencing a stressful life event such as loss of a loved one, military services, a breakup, or financial legal problems. Having a substance abuse problem like alcohol and drug abuse. Have suicidal thoughts and have access to a firearm in your home. Have an underlying psychiatric disorder, such as a major depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, or bipolar disorder. Having a family history of mental disorders, substance abuse, suicide, or violence, including physical or sexual assault. Suicide in children and teenagers can follow stressful life events. What a young person sees as serious and insurmountable may seem minor to an adult, such as problems in school, a loss of a friendship. In some cases, a child or teen may feel suicidal due to certain life circumstances that he or she may not want to talk about, such as having a psychiatric disorder, including depression, loss or conflict with loss of a friend or family members, history of physical or sexual abuse, problems with alcohol or drugs, physical or medical issues, For example, becoming pregnant or having sexual transmitted infections, being a victim of bullying, being uncertain of sexual orientation, reading or hearing an account of suicide, or knowing a peer who died by suicide. In rare cases, people who are suicidal are at risk of killing others and themselves, known as homicide suicide or murder suicide. Some risk factors include history of conflict with a spouse or a romantic partner, currently family or legal financial problems, history of medical problems, particularly depression, alcohol or drug abuse, having access to a firearm. It may be hard to talk about suicidal feelings, and your friends and family may not fully understand why you feel the way you do. Reach out anyway, and make sure it's with the people you can trust. You may also want to get help from maybe a place of worship support groups or other community resources. Feeling connected and supported can help you reduce suicidal risk. If you feel hopeless or that life's not worth living for anymore, remember that treatment can help you regain your perspective. And listen, just take life a day at a time. You may feel embarrassed to seek treatment or mental health problems, but getting the right treatment for your depression, substance misuse, or another underlying problem will make you feel better about life and help keep you safe. When it comes to crises, right? Talking about feeling trapped, talking about being a burden to others, increasing the use of alcohol and drugs. I know I said that before, but it is true. Sleeping a little too much, displaying extreme mood swings, acting out recklessly, withdrawing your feelings, or being isolated. If you're feeling suicidal, but you aren't immediately thinking about hurting yourself, reach out to a close friend or a loved one. Even though it may be hard to talk about, contact a minister, spiritual leader, or someone of a faith community, or call a suicide hotline. Make an appointment with a doctor or other healthcare providers for mental health professional. Suicide thinking doesn't get better on its own, so we could all get help together. Again, the numbers are 988 or visit 988lifeline.org. You could call, you can text, and you can chat 24/7, 7 days a week. You could call 1-800-273-8255 if you're going through a crisis. The number is 800-273-8255. I would like to leave you guys off by saying that I know after the pandemic, or probably even before the pandemic, life is just hard all on its own, right? And I do know at times like this, for everybody going to work or being entrepreneurs and just in their own, life, that it may be hard, and you may feel like you're hindering people by telling them, that you're going through hard situations, right? But I'm going to be real with you guys. There are people who really do care about you, and you know who those people are. and you know who you could share these personal things with. And again, if you can't find anybody, you guys could always DM me and reach out to me. My Instagram is posted. My Facebook is posted. I'm on all platforms. You can always find me.
So you know what to do.
Stop playing with me.
Like, share, subscribe.
Tap in with me. Like, share, subscribe.